Now, India and China, both of them are locked in a new diplomatic storm. And this time, the clash, in fact, did not happen at the border, but it unfolded at Shanghai's airport. An Arunachal Pradesh-born Indian citizen is alleging harassment and humiliation over her identity. And this has sparked big outrage in the national capital. Beijing, however, is denying any kind of wrongdoing, but India has hit back very strongly, reaffirming Arunachal Pradesh as an integral part of our country. The tensions between both the countries are now escalating.
A new fault line has opened in the India-China standoff. This time not at the border, but at Shanghai's Pudong airport. An Indian woman from Arunachal Pradesh, Prema Vang Jong Thondok, alleges she was stopped, questioned and humiliated not for what she carried, but for where she was born. China has rejected the accusation entirely, insisting she was neither detained nor harassed. But India has hit back hard. The Ministry of External Affairs has responded to Beijing's remarks, reiterating that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India, a reality. It says no amount of Chinese denial can change. MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal says India has taken up the arbitrary detention with Beijing, adding that China has violated international air travel conventions and even its own 24-hour visa-free transit rules.
This was my second time transiting, and it seems like more of a pick and choose and harassment issue here, because the immigration officer came to single me out of the queue while I was queuing up for the security check-in, and basically took my passport from me, from my possession, and said, when I did continue to ask, what is the issue? I have a connecting flight. Why are you singling me out and taking me out of the queue? She went on to say Arunachal is not part of India, that it's part of China, and that my Indian passport was an invalid document for travel.
Prema recounts being held for hours and told Arunachal Pradesh is part of China.
When I go to the airline, they say speak to the immigration. When they speak to the immigration, they say go to the airline. They kept basically, transferring me from one desk to the other and not giving a definitive answer. Of course, there is no law or written document that they produce to show and to tell me why they are holding me back, how they can claim an Indian passport to be invalid. But they simply said Arunachal, pointing at my passport, saying you're born in Arunachal. This is not part of India, it's part of China.
Her account triggered outrage in India, promoting a strong démarche in Beijing and in Delhi, asserting that every Arunachali citizen is fully entitled to an Indian passport. China, meanwhile, has doubled down on its long-standing position, saying it has never acknowledged the so-called Arunachal Pradesh illegally set up by India.
首先，藏南地区是中国领土。
First of all, Zangnan is Chinese territory, and China has never recognized the so-called Arunachal Pradesh illegally established by India. As for the individual case you mentioned, according to my understanding, during the handling of the process, China's border inspection authorities have always performed inspection procedures in accordance with laws and regulations, enforced the law impartially and civilly, fully protected legitimate rights and interests of persons involved. There was no so-called detention, harassment, or other situations. The airline also provided the person with food and rest.
具体的情况，你可以向中方的主管部门进一步了解。
India, however, remains firm, rejecting these claims in totality. The incident has now turned into a diplomatic storm, raising fresh tensions over China's continued attempts to challenge India's sovereignty, belying Beijing's recent facade of wanting to improve ties with New Delhi. Bureau Report, India Today.